Honey, I'm home. Got off a little early today. Sweetheart? Did the plumber come to fix that sink? Sweetheart? Where's my kitten?
Believe it or not, this has been many men's origin story, myself included, resulting in transforming us into rakes, scoundrels, philanderers, Lotharios, Casanovas, rogues, knaves, playboys, and heartbreakers.
Alpha male.
Of alpha and alpha male.
Alpha male.
Around alpha man.
The alpha male.
The alpha.
Of alpha.
Alpha male.
I think an alpha male.
I haven't had an alpha man.
Full disclosure, I didn't create the term, guys. High value man has been.
I'm a fucking high value male.
Beta.
Beta!
Because when they see somebody who's a beta,
Hey, ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit, man.
Music is often talked about in psychological studies and how it can amplify emotions during heartbreak. It can prolong rumination, disrupt the healing process, and trigger painful memories if in the context of the songs you associate with the person that provided the heartbreak. This same principle applies to the videos and male spaces to put the focus on. A young man, or even more mature men that endure the pain of heartbreak, are subject to emotional resonance. Audio-visual stimuli such as videos activate multiple sensory areas in the brain: visual cortex, auditory cortex, and emotional processing centers like the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. These overlapping inputs intensify emotional impact compared to audio or text alone. Social cognitive processing, commentary, particularly on polarizing topics like misogyny, triggers regions associated with the social judgment. This processing can amplify feelings like anger, frustration, or even guilt if viewers recognize or internalize the commentary's messages. The echo chamber effect from videos that present strongly biased or inflammatory commentary often reinforce pre-existing beliefs, creating a cycle of confirmation bias. This is particularly potent on platforms like YouTube or TikTok, where algorithms recommend the similar content, intensifying exposure. It can trigger cognitive dissonance. This discomfort may amplify negative emotions or lead to the defensive behaviors like denial or anger. With mimetic responses, misogynistic commentary may invoke disgust, fear, or sadness in those who are opposed to it, while encouraging toxic behaviors in those who identify with it. This imitative emotional response can propagate harmful social norms. My introduction to this was Tommy Sotomayor.
I just had a conversation with a black woman. This did not happen. And I'm not gonna let you fucking overtalk me any fucking more. You gonna sit there and smile and be an asshole? Get the fuck out. Just go. I said you could come back and now you're gonna sit here and be a bitch. Then just go. Just get the fuck out. Everybody gets to see it. This bitch could not help herself. Now you done met the nigga you said is my rhetoric. Get the fuck out. Go do whatever the fuck it is you're gonna do. What you could have been doing is doing your motherfucking hair. but you wasn't. You was on here talking to me and being a stupid bitch, and everybody sees a stupid bitch, a dumbass bitch who couldn't do something as simple as hold her own in a conversation.
In the first few videos I've encountered, he took umbrage with the single black mothers and expressed his opinion with visceral intensity. The message resonated with me because I was just like the man in the intro clip. I also started listening to Ringo TV. Although Ringo isn't the focus on the video, I would like to add he had the same energy as Tommy, but about teaching the Bible. I took a hiatus when I started exhibiting misogynistic behavior towards the women in my life. A few years ago, my younger brother mentioned a video about the different male types, and he fit the description of a Sigma male.
How Sigma males have genius level intelligence. Stay tuned.
I watched the video he sent me. Not even knowing about the history behind the alpha male, common sense had to take over, and I had to tell him to label yourself in such a manner to put you in the same confinement as a caged animal. If you would be set free in the wild, you have a slim chance of adapting and growing for your survival.
Women to understand it. Just because a man has a penis don't make him a man. He could be a male. There's not a lot. Most men aren't lying. Let's make sure that's understood.
Okay.
Right? So some men can raise another man's child because the real father ain't a lion.
I understand the need to sound profound, but lions would slay another lion's cub, so that's not really a good example. The Fresh and Fit podcast is another that creates acrimony in their followers towards the opposite sex.
This isn't
I'm not trying to assert dominance.
You've done it multiple times. Let's move on. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so we were talking with one person the whole time and only one
I don't give a
talking.
fuck what you think. It's our show. If we want to continue to hear the blabbery,
that's fine.
We're going to do it.
Okay.
Okay? Let me make that very fucking clear.
Okay.
It's our shit, not yours. Okay?
Okay.
And if you don't like it, you can get up and leave.
Right now.
Yeah, cool?
Got a choice.
You're mad aggressive.
No, because I have to be aggressive because you've been aggressive. So I got to match your energy. Got to match your energy. Got to match your energy. Got to match your energy.
Huh?
And then there's Kevin Samuels.
Dark skin women.
Dude, I'm talking to men tonight.
Yeah.
Men's issues.
First he said, call in if you have a disagreement. Now he says the disagreement has to be about men. And you'll notice in this video, when he can't defend his position, he's going to move the goalpost a few more times.
No, I'm just saying, like, so I'll talk about an issue with the men. The thing I
what have I talked about? If you just tuned in, okay, wait.
Okay, so I apologize for talking about the issue with the women. So the issue with the men that I disagree with, which is on topic, is just giving a high value man like a green card to cheat, saying like it's okay for him to exercise.
What about said that? What he chooses to do, as long as he's taking care of home, is none of your business. If he's providing a lifestyle that 90+% of women could only dream of, you need to be quiet.
What I don't know won't hurt me.
No, what you know will get you being what you know will get you a when women since recorded history have understood that if you want a man who's exceptional, you're gonna have to deal with some stuff. Y'all want a man who's exceptional, you don't want any pain. You better go ask Betty Wright. You better go ask No Pain, No Gain. I mean, you're old enough to know better.
And I guess it's just wrapping our minds around that.
Men show you loyalty by coming home. Men show you loyalty by keeping the mortgage paid and keeping you provided for. See, when a man cheats on you, this is what it looks like. When he goes and buys his mistress the same size house he got you. When he goes and buys her the matching Mercedes you got. When he buys her the same shoes and the same bag and the same everything else, then he's cheating. Rules to it. And you guys gotta understand, high value or whatever, you cheat, you gotta understand you cannot embarrass your woman. No outside kids, no divorces, no embarrassments. Those are the rules. Yes. No outside kids, no divorces, no embarrassments. And there is also a fourth rule: you can't be putting financial strain on your primary family. Absolutely. So, and that comes from outside kids. When have I ever said that high value men get a pass on cheating or exercising options? When have I ever said that? that high value men, have options. And they can choose to exercise them. And women who are smart, who are married to high value men, shut the French toast up and accept the fact that they chose a man who's a cut above the rest. Because
I was just listening to what you was talking to it was the one guy that got on here and he was talking about that he make $45,000 a year. And you know, he ended up saying that he can't support a family, but a lot of times when you talk about average men, you talk about
what is your disagreement?
You talk about around 45, 50.
What is your disagreement?
That you told him he should. And you told him that he shouldn't even be thinking about marriage because he makes $45,000 a year.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Actually, that's exactly what Kevin said just minutes before. In addition, that's exactly what he tells women all the time, to accept average earning men who make $45,000 a year or more. This is the man who Kevin had the conversation with, and even he called him out on this talking point, that he is an average earner making $45,000 a year, but Kevin says he can't provide for a family.
You said I asked you, how long you known her? 8 years. You've known her long enough to know who she is and what she's about. You said you were with her for 1 year. I said, to what end? You said to marriage, and you're not in a position to be a husband. You can't provide for a family. You shouldn't have been in a relationship. That's the ultimate answer. You shouldn't have been in a relationship. She should have been on out somewhere else, dealing with somebody who wanted what she wanted, but you were not in a position to deal with any women to that end. Casually, socially, sure. But talking about a wife, you can't provide.
Okay, so that goes against stuff that you've said previously, because what I make currently right now is average income. I average about $45,000 a year.
You've already demonstrated. Okay, sir, please. I have plenty of people. If you don't have a specific disagreement about something I said, I'm going to the next person.
Okay. I'm speaking about something you said, sir.
Do you have a specific disagreement that you're bringing? Nothing about I've said tonight. What do you have? Go.
That a man is unevenly yoked, being an average man with a woman that's going for a double degree. That doesn't make him unevenly yoked with her.
Okay, well then that's your opinion.
Well, you speak on this because you
that's your opinion. I said you're unevenly. So if you believe something different, then here's the thing. Okay, you can't overtalk me. You can't overtalk me.
It's not where I plan on staying or what I'm working towards in the future.
I get it. I get that. However, you were dating a woman who is heavily degreed, and women respond to power. Unfortunately, she dwarfed you in power potential. So the only place you could dominate and show any power is in the bedroom, because she did not have to take you seriously. You weren't on the same level.
Once again, Kevin is not standing on his position, and this is one of his major talking points, that a woman's degree does not matter to men. But when he talks to men, he tells them they're not evenly yoked with women if the woman has a degree. So which is it?
Now, a person's job title, whether or not their job title, if they're say a musician, that's like a producer or something like that. We were speaking on average men making the income of $45,000 to $50,000 a year. That's what we're speaking on. We're not speaking on job.
No, titles, you mix subjects. Right? You mix subjects, man. You mix subjects. That's what you did, and here's the problem. That's why I asked you about your specific disagreement, because you came in talking about a conversation that you were third party to. You're mixing subjects. That's the problem. This is hearsay. I know the conversation I had with that man. He's not even making the arguments you're making. That's why I keep asking you, what is your specific disagreement about things that I specifically say and you don't have them? So I'm going to bid you a good evening. Thank you.
The entire week was supposed to be for men only. But after one day, he stopped having men on. I wonder why. Is it because what he's been saying to women doesn't make sense to the men and they're calling him on it? I believe Kevin Samuels says whatever he needs to say to get through the moment, and it doesn't matter if he believes what he's saying or not. It doesn't matter if the men and women listening believes him or not, because the point is to entertain. He's saying his platform is to bring the black community together and to get men and women married, but it's not. And nobody should believe it. On the same day that he made this video, he said that he got 5 couples together. But Kevin has been on YouTube for over 3 years and has over 1 million followers. And he feels he's successful because he was able to put 5 couples together. You can believe that or not, but the point is, he's insulting black women, insulting black men with false narratives, and he's creating more of a divide, but his accomplishment is 5 couples.
One of men's most common critiques about single mothers is that they have a baby by a man that is deemed irresponsible, the Pookie or Ray Ray. And us men who are childless are left to play stepdaddy.
But she needs if we was loving our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
you're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
Most of the time, having to deal with the father of the baby that either has access to the woman's womb or has been dumped by said woman and is in stagnant maturity tends to make your life a living hell. There's a lot to unpack with that reasoning, and with 2 sides of that argument, I can agree with half of it.
And then you, the simp you.
Now that we have the insults out the way, let's get into some data. The study entitled The Effects of Paternal Disengagement of Women's Sexual Decision-Making, an experimental approach examines how a father's absence or lack of engagement influence a woman's sexual behaviors and attitudes. The research found that the reminders of paternal engagement led to decreased activation of sexual thoughts, greater sexual permissiveness, and more negative attitudes toward the condom use among women. This study examines how cues of paternal disengagement influence a woman's sexual decision-making process. These findings suggest a causal relationship between paternal disengagement and changes in women's psychology that may promote risky sexual behavior. The study explores how cues of paternal disengagement affect women's sexual thoughts, attitudes, and decision-making. It aims to determine whether paternal disengagement influences risky sexual behaviors. Key findings show paternal disengagement triggers sexual thoughts. Women exposed to reminders of paternal disengagement showed increased activation of sexual thoughts compared to those of reminder of paternal engagement. Women in the disengagement group expressed more permissive sexual attitudes, meaning they were more open to casual or uncommitted sexual relationships. Participants in the disengagement condition exhibited a more negative attitudes towards using condoms, suggesting a higher likelihood of risky sexual behavior. The study suggests that the paternal disengagement may lead to psychological adaptations that encourage short-term mating strategies, influenced by perceived instability in family environments. 5 experiments. Participants were primed with paternal engagement or disengagement scenarios when assessed on sexual thoughts, permissiveness, and attitudes towards condom use. Control groups will use neutral scenarios to help isolate the effects of paternal cues. Paternal disengagement may signal an unstable environment, triggering adaptive behaviors to maximize reproductive success in unpredictable conditions. Risky sexual behaviors may be an unconscious response to early life experiences rather than conscious decisions. The study highlights how paternal disengagement can shape a woman's psychological and sexual decision-making, potentially influencing her partner selection. While it doesn't explicitly address relationships with unreliable or irresponsible partners, the findings imply that early life experiences with disengaged fathers can predispose women to short-term mating strategies, which might include relationships with less stable partners. Shout out to Lil Bill for this info. And then there's the YouTube Civil War. with these influencers that basically get their talking points from one another and stay at each other's throats.
Stay quiet, stay alive. Diane, please. What he says. Listen, we'll do anything you want. Just don't hurt anybody. What do you want? Ask your little no-color choir boy, huh? Oh, owe me $6,000. Oh. Anything to know these boys? Mom, please. Look, guys, I'll get it. I just need more time. Get it? Get what? What is? Time's up. There's a jag in the driveway. Come on, give up the keys. Give him the keys. Let me take little sister here to the prom. It was nice meeting you folks. Sorry we can't stay for dinner.
And even though their messages can be different, the perception is misogyny. Perception is reality. It's something I learned back in 2012. And whether you like it or not, it's a driving philosophy in the military, marketing and advertising, politics, public relations, business and corporate environments, sales, psychology, sociology, and finally social media influencing. And if I struck a nerve, keep in mind that I used to be a Tommy Sotomayor apologist when he used to say derogatory things about black women, and although he was referring to the ones with degenerate behavior, he only made that distinction in a few of 100 videos. The problem with this, there is no resolution of the emotional struggle of the male fan base that seek out these influencers. A lot of us were raised in broken homes, and it shows. I'm still a student, and I'm no expert, but I can recognize where there's a problem to stop and assess the roadblock and figure out a way around it instead of trying to go through it. The presence or absence of a paternal figure can affect emotional development. Some studies suggest that boys were raised without fathers may develop heightened sensitivity to others, to feelings and needs, and potentially influencing their approach to relationships. Fear of failure and fear of rejection are two of the biggest fears of a human being.
Hey, Monica. What's up, baby?
What's your problem, nigga? You didn't win.
Woo! Fuck you then.
And you can see this in the comment section of many videos. Men expressing their disdain for the women they see in the videos and generalizing all of them, or in a horror story of how they were taken advantage of and would never trust a woman as a whole. They have been affected by the halo effect. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where the perception of one's positive trait, like attractiveness, leads to an assumption of other positive qualities. This can result in men perceiving attractive women as more trustworthy or kind, potentially causing them to overlook negative behaviors or character flaws. A study from the University of Connecticut found that men viewed women with retouched or more attractive photos as less trustworthy, but still had a higher desire to date them, suggesting that attraction can outweigh concerns about trustworthiness. Psychological research suggests that individuals may ignore red flags in relationships due to a desire to be in love or because certain negative behaviors are normalized based on past experiences. This tendency can lead to overlooking potential issues in favor of maintaining relationships. And trust me, I'm not exempt from this in my past.
Here are some others that you might enjoy, but you don't have to take my word for it.
Properly vetting women you date